Hey everyone, this is Stamping Songbird, and today is Monday. That means we're doing Make It Monday. And today we're going to make this desktop calendar. It's super simple. Anyone can do it. So let's get started. So I'm going to make this exact one, but I'm going to change the pattern paper so all the measurements are the same. And before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that I was walking down the street one day and there was a cab company giving out these little mini calendars and giving out pens. And I said, no, it's okay. I don't need them. And I passed them a couple of times. And I said, wait a second, I can use these. So this is what the calendar looks like. It has their information on this side. I'm going to leave that folded. It has the 2015 calendar with the month before and the month after. But we're just going to use the top half. So I cut off the bottom part. Okay, so let's get started. First thing you're going to need are your materials. So I have my calendar. I already cut the bottom part. And like I said, I got this from a cab company that was giving them out in the street, but you can actually print little calendars like this out. I've done that before. You can make your own on Word or any other program, or find little mini versions online. And there you can even find some for purchase as well. So I took my calendar, I had a couple of them, and I cut so that the calendar was 2 inches in width or length, 2 inches across. So I'm going to put that to the side. The next thing you need are your materials. So in the interest of time, I've already prepared my materials, and what you need is a piece of black cardstock or any color cardstock as your base, which measures 8.5 by 5.5, 8.5 by 5.5. And this is going to be scored first at 3 3/4, then 6, then 7, 3 3/4, then 6, then 7. I hope I got my measurements right. Let me do one quick check because I'm a little weary about this first one. So that one is, yes, 3 3/4, 6, and then 7, okay? And again, that could be any color. The next thing you need are the pieces of pattern paper or other pieces of cardstock to create the decorations on the cover. So I have my first layer, which is just a craft color. Again, you can do any color. This one measures at 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. I'm sorry if I'm going a little slow. Another piece of the same color cardstock that you started your base with. So I did black. I'm going to use black. And this one measures at 5 by 3.5. So you're just going down by 1/4 inch for every piece. So this one, after you cut this one, you go down 1/4 inch on each side for the next piece. Again, another piece of cardstock, which now will be smaller than this black piece. And this one measures at 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. You can use any colored papers. It doesn't have to have patterns. It could just be alternating colors. So those are my 3. Then I have the matting for my calendar. So I said that this was at 2 inches by 3 1/4. So my matting is going to be 2 1/4 by 3.5. So you just go up 1/4 inch, okay? And then this piece will also depend on what type of calendar you're using. So mine happens to be 2 by 3, but yours could be any other size, okay? And then the last thing is your bands to go across. So this one measures 5 and I want to give you the right measurement. I believe it's 5.5 by 3/4, 5.5 by 3/4, and then the top piece is 5.5 by 1/2 inch. Yes. Oh my. I'm gonna pause the video now because I think my cat is in distress. So give me a second. Hey, okay, so I'm back. I'm sorry about that. My cat is very, very old by cat standards, and lately she hasn't been feeling well. So I just heard her kind of making some weird sounds. I needed to check on her. Sorry about that. So okay, yeah, so I gave you all of the measurements and now we can finally get started. So I'm just gonna start putting together all of these pieces first because they're the fastest that you can put together. So I'm just going to glue each piece one over the other. And I'm gonna do that as quick as possible. And these desktop calendars are nice to give out as gifts during the new year or at Christmas time, or just because to give them to a coworker, or just to make them for yourself to keep on your desk at home or at work, or to give to a teacher as a gift. They're really cute, you know. Sometimes we wonder, oh, what's today's date or what's next week's date? And we're scrambling to look for our phones because we don't usually have calendars on top of the desk unless you have a planner out. So these are a quick go-to type of calendar. So I have my first layer, my background layer, which is this part here. And now I'm going to mat my calendar. And I'm just using some regular runner. I would recommend using the red double-sided tape or Score Pal tape, because those are much, much stronger. But I find that this tape runner that I have is super strong, so I can use this without a problem. Make sure that you place your calendar in the center so you have a border all the way around. Okay, got that. Let's mat our little belly band, our little strip. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible so that kids can make this too. It's nice when a teacher or, you know, mom or dad gets a present that was made by hand from their child. Okay, so we have all of our pieces already matted. Now we just need to mount them. So you're gonna take your cardstock, the one that you scored at 3, I wanna say 3 3/4, 6 and 7 3/4. I think that's how it is, or at 7 actually. So you're going to go to the bigger side, and that's where you're going to place the rectangular piece. So that's going to go right there. Again, make sure that it's in the center. You're leaving another border all the way around. And I'm using some paper that I used in a previous video, that I used in my Scrapbook Sunday video from Me and My Big Ideas Mambi Kit, the Memories series. Like I say in that video, I don't like to waste paper, and if I have pieces that are being unused, I try to find ways to use them, which is why I'm using them here. Okay, so once that's placed there, again, remember your scored pieces are over on this side. All right, oh, and I didn't explain what scoring means. Scoring just means that you are, instead of cutting with your paper cutter, you can take a ruler or anything that's blunt and place it. Let me just show you that quick. Place it onto your paper cutter and then move the blade out of the way. Make sure that you're in the right spot for your measurements, and then you can just place that here. You could use a ice cream stick, you know, one of those popsicle sticks. That works as well, or you can use a scoring tool. Some of these paper cutters come with a scoring blade, and that's great, but if you don't have it, doesn't mean you need to go run out and buy one. You can just use something blunt and stick that through there, and it works just fine. Okay, so I digressed a little there. Next piece, I'm going to add the band straight across. Okay, making sure that that's right in the center. Oh, mine's a little crooked. No, no, no. Let's pull that off and fix it. Ooh, good thing I didn't press down too hard. I hate when that happens. If it's crooked, it drives me nuts. Okay, that looks like it's okay. All right, so the next thing is to adhere your calendar. Now make sure that this half of your cardstock is at the bottom so that you're not doing it this way. You need to do it this way, okay? So again, I'm gonna use my tape runner. You can use any type of adhesive, and like I said before, the Score-Out tape and that double stick red tape, I forget the actual name of it. It's a double-sided, and even the Scotch brand double-sided tape is very, very strong. Get something strong to go to the back of your calendar and place that right in the center as well. Okay, so your calendar is already done. This is really it. The next part is just folding on those score lines. So wherever you scored on those measurements that I gave you, you're folding. And you're gonna fold back, back, and then you're going to fold again, back. Okay, so let me show you that again. You're gonna fold back, then back on the next score line, then back on the last one. Okay, so it looks like this. Does that make sense? Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put your calendar face down, and you're gonna grab that smaller piece here, that 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch that's left, and that's where you're going to add your adhesive. So again, you should use a really strong adhesive because you don't want this to come apart. Make sure that you cover from corner to corner. It's kind of hard to see on black paper, but I can see it just fine. I don't know how well it's coming out on camera. Okay, so now I have my calendar piece facing down. I'm going to take this, fold it, move my my calendar piece over so that this piece is going to touch the bottom of that base. Does that make sense? So what you're doing is essentially you're creating this kind of a triangular easel type of thing, and that'll let your calendar stand up. So I'm just gonna hold this. This is where my adhesive is. I'm gonna bring back the calendar. Now it depends on how much you want it to lean. If you want it to lean back a lot, then you can just leave this low. If you want it to lean up, you should move this closer down. So I'm gonna make it go a little. And then you're just gonna stick your fingers through here so that you can press down. And you see it forms this triangular shape, and that's gonna be what's gonna keep it standing up. And there it is. Desktop calendar, super easy, super quick. Here's another version of it. And that's it. You can make it. You can make anything. It's Make It Monday. See you next time.